Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to the first ever episode of the Slurp Juice podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Stohlin, and today with me I have...
I'm Taylor.
Hi, I'm Micah.
Hey y'all, I'm Jimmy. Hey y'all. That's so stupid. I would never say that.
Hey y'all.
I'll do what's up. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that.
Today on the show, we play a game of $1 Million But, which is our icebreaker to get to know everyone on the show. We also talk about something everyone looks dumb doing, as well as the strangest thing we've ever said or have had said to us by a stranger. We start off the show with a shot of the day. So thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, we're the
Cheers.
first guests
Cheers
to
to the first
appear on
guest,
your
first
show,
ever
so
guest.
we definitely feel fantastic about that.
But yeah, it's been a long time coming. Started working on the podcast I did last March. Kind of got everything together the last few months, and so I'm definitely nervous. But no, I think it'd be a good time. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do our shot of the day. We're going to do a little bit to get to know you guys. And then we have two segments. The first being something that everyone looks stupid doing. And then the second being the weirdest thing you've ever said to a stranger. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do our shot.
All right. Dan, what'd you bring for us today, my friend?
Should I do it on
This is
Google?
called...
Taylor, get on in this.
This is called the bombshell. It's 1 part coconut rum, 1 part...
She's way ahead of the game. We haven't even
Shame.
finished the toast. This is part of his toast.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know how things work.
So it's 1 part cinnamon whiskey, 1 part coconut rum, and then 1 part cola, which today is Coca-Cola, because Coke is better than Pepsi.
Not sponsored.
So,
Sure,
yeah,
yeah.
right.
Not
Not sponsored,
sorry.
but just personal
Cheers,
preference.
everyone. Cheers.
Oh, I might big glass.
Your red Merlot.
It's a Sunday morning.
Damn.
Tasty.
Very tasty.
Thank
Thank you.
Tastes
I like
like
that little cinnamon kick at the
Oh, that was so good.
Your second shot.
Watch out.
get wasted off of air.
Yeah.
But no, it's just pretty good. Have you ever had a cinnamon toast crunch like cocktail before?
No, I have not.
You guys haven't? Wow, that's like a staple.
Yeah, I had it for the first time when I was traveling for work in Andover.
Sounds too sweet.
It was really sweet.
It's very sweet.
No.
It's Fireball, rum chata, and sometimes you'll get something else in it depending where you're at. But it's very sweet, and they usually do like a caramel rim with like cinnamon sugar.
Okay.
I think it's really messy, but it's a really good like dessert cocktail.
Rum chata was the first alcohol I've ever had, and I did not know it was alcohol. And I just like took a sip of it. I was like, why does this burn?
Probably
I
drink
didn't
it
feel
like milk.
warm inside. Like, what's going on?
For like the 2016 election, when I was living over by the cultural center, one of our roommates at the time, they wanted to do like a drinking game. It was something to do with, I don't know, Trump and Hillary. They had like their catchphrases.
Oh my god, has it been that long since that election happened?
It's almost been 4 years.
You guys are old. You guys
We're
getting
so
old.
old.
And he was doing something, but he would do shots of like rum chata, which I don't know if I would do that.
Oh,
That sounds
it's
like a very good way to
taking
get
shots
blitzed.
of milk.
Yeah, like a sweet tooth, like a sugar high.
Oh goodness.
But yeah, so without further ado, then let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and tell us like a little bit about each one of you, like what you like to do, or maybe something fun.
I'm a podcast enthusiast.
She stares right at the
I
camera.
do.
Let them know how you really feel.
I do.
Little twinkle in her eye.
I seriously have like, because I don't like listening to music in the car because the radio plays like the same 3 songs just on repeat and it kills the songs for me. And so I just constantly listen to podcasts or I listen to the Howard Stern show on series because I'm just that kind of person. I love that show. It's so funny.
I didn't realize he was still kicking it.
Oh yeah,
Really?
he is so great. It's a little raunchy sometimes.
Yeah.
But like just the cast he has on there is so funny. He's such an amazing interviewer. If I like care about the people that he's interviewing.
Sure.
But like the people and his staff, he just has them like fight with each other, and I don't know if it's just the drama person in me. I'm like, ooh, you guys fighting? Oh, we have a new guest.
Yeah, this is Zeke. Hey, buddy.
Shoot.
Is Howard Stern the guy who has like the germ phobia and you like?
No, that's Howie Mandel.
Oh,
Close.
But he was on America's Got Talent. He had like the
Just
black like
giving a
afro.
wonderful
shout. Oh, okay.
And white hair. He like
I'm sure
was skinny.
sunglasses or
Yeah,
glasses.
he always wears sunglasses because his eyes are really tiny.
And how about you, Micah?
So I'm a recent graduate from the University of Michigan Flint, which we were all
Blue.
at some point.
Go Blue.
Yeah, go blue. And
Except for
then
that
I recently
basketball.
just got a job as a general manager at a medical marijuana dispensary. So I'm all about the marijuana
Oh, okay.
now. Yeah,
All right.
So living the high life.
You're saying you never were about that?
Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, you know. But no, other than that, life's just been caught up with work. So it's been very interesting adjusting to post-grad life.
What's that been like now? Like, because before this year, they didn't have like the ability to sell marijuana like to anybody. You had to have like a medical card. So what has that like been like for you?
Well, you still have to be a medical card, like a medical patient.
Okay.
It's not going to be changing until 2020.
Okay.
The medical law. So recreational comes in 2020, and right now we're still operating under medical, but we're working towards it. You know, so the state of Michigan just needs to catch up with the law of the state, and so it's going to take a little bit, but you know, law takes time.
Okay.
My only thing with the medical cards though is like anybody can get them. Like you can be in and like, oh my god, I have a headache.
Well, right, and that's
I get
why.
headaches.
Really?
Yeah, like
literally.
you could get them that easy. Like I have anxiety and they can't test it, so they're like, okay, here you go.
Yeah, it depends on where you go, but you can pretty much just mail money into the state with like a doctor's signature and you're
Got
good to go. That's why I personally haven't gotten one because like for me morally I don't need it
Right.
per se,
Yeah.
but I mean I can still get it, but you know.
Have you been to like a dispensary?
I
At,
work
like,
in
Colorado.
one.
I mean, like to like in like Colorado
Oh
or
no,
California.
I haven't even been to Colorado before.
Oh geez. Well, let me tell you a quick story
Like,
about
just
that.
pay-
Please do.
So I'm not gonna say that like I was in college. I wasn't actually really big on it just because I don't know. It just wasn't my thing. I didn't have
Sure,
anything against it.
yeah.
It just wasn't in my interest. But we went out to San Diego. Me, Dan, and one of my best friends from high school, and went to San Diego. I didn't realize this, but when we took our Uber from the airport, and I think I was trying to be sneaky about things. I was like, so like, where can we score some like good stuff or the green?
Yeah, it was so
or-
shady
about it.
And then our Uber driver proceeds to say like, oh yeah, like I smoke weed and eat edibles all the time. It's super legal here.
Oh yeah.
And so that was an awakening moment. We went to a dispensary in San Diego, like I think one of the nicer end ones, and man, it's an organized facility to be a part of.
It's a business.
It's a business.
It's a business.
Yeah, they're very professional about things. They have security there. They'll run your card for I don't know if they run your card for a record check or what have you.
It's a database so we can see if you're actually in the system as a medical patient.
Got
So
it.
we check the state registry.
Okay, well that's good to know. None of us needed it.
Well, right,
for
'cause it's
medical
recreational
reasons. Because it was
and-
all
Well,
Same.
very
isn't it? It's
recreational.
legal in California, right?
Very legal.
Oh, very
Very
legal.
legal.
There's a dispensary like all over the place too.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that like they have employees there behind the counter that'll if you're not familiar with like how to
Butt tenders.
do marijuana
Do
call,
the weed.
call
You
the
inject the
call butt
marijuana
tenders.
straight in.
Yeah, they were super helpful with the process. We got tea, pre-rolled joints,
Yeah.
no edibles for some reason. I've actually never done edibles.
I can't do edibles. And I definitely don't smoke often or anything like that.
Right.
But I definitely would prefer it in like a social situation than to drinking because I feel like it's less expensive. And
Oh,
it gets you
without a
there
doubt.
and it lasts a lot longer. Whereas like alcohol, it's just a mess.
Well, alcohol is
It's
just way
such
more
a mess.
dangerous, honestly.
Yeah.
Like marijuana, you can control your use, and with the edibles, though, I would caution from getting them from like a homegrown person because the thing is they can't really control the dosage, or they don't have the proper percentages of like what they're able to put in. When you go to a dispensary, you can get properly administered dosages like 20 milligram gummies. You might have eaten a 5 milligram cookie and then the next cookie might have been like a 100 milligram cookie because who knows.
Which I think is probably what I
Well,
ran into.
right. You don't have a standardized product
Yeah.
then, so you have to be a little careful.
I admire that. I admire that process a lot because you're consuming something, right? It's
Yeah.
like food or whatever. So
There has to
makes
be.
sense.
That's why we have so much regulation on that now in
Yeah.
marijuana is because it's a new industry that's like booming in the United States, or at least in states where it's becoming recreational and legal and everything. So it needs to be regulated and it needs to be done properly, just
Yeah.
like a candy bar.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, just like my cousin, she just turned 21 in January, and like she told me she's never had like adult drinks. Like she always drinks like Four Loko. Like that was her like thing. Oh, I know.
That's pretty dangerous.
And so
Dangerous.
no, dangerous is on her 21st birthday. They went to B Dubs, and she had like every single drink pot. Like, she had like Jaeger bombs. Like, she was drinking everything to the point where I think she had alcohol, but she started throwing up blood.
Oh, that's
And
not
we were
good.
like,
In the restaurant?
no, when she got home that night, she was like dead to the world. Like,
wow.
and that's why like alcohol like freaks me out. Like, after you see stuff like that, you're like, oh shoot, this
As
could
we all
really
are
go
drinking a
bad.
drink.
Well, this is like not as bad, but
Well,
she was just
right.
like thing after thing, like just going for it, and I'm like, oh,
to be
honey,
honest,
no.
though, isn't that everyone's 21st birthday
Right.
party? Like, I like.
Not
I'm
mine.
blacked out on my
Yeah, you're right.
21st.
Micah's like, oh, just me, okay, cool.
Like
That's
ever
not-
since I started drinking, and I didn't really drink until I was in college, but I would get really tired, like really sleepy. So
Because you didn't drink enough.
yeah, I guess so.
Well, alcohol's like it's like
It's
a
a- it's a
sedative.
depressant.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, and I would just feel I would have like one drink and I'd like ready to like sleep for the night.
That's why you gotta have 5.
Yeah, right. Or like
You
be,
need at
get
least
up
5.
doing something like get rid of club or something that's
Yeah.
a lot easier at a bar because
Yeah.
you're talking and stuff like that. But no, I think mine was my 21st. My 21st and 22nd kind of blend together because it was like the same group of people. It was like the
Okay,
same
that's fair.
venue.
it's like a year apart. It's like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
and neither one of them was like extra crazy. I don't think so. That's why they kind of blend together for me.
Yeah, I didn't go crazy on my 21st because I didn't want to like. I wanted to remember it. I guess like I wanted to
I
remember my
remember
time
it,
with
but
my
I
friends.
was just fucking shit-faced.
Well, I remember one of my friends. She was in Italy because she's from Italy, and we FaceTimed her at midnight for my birthday because we did it like the day before, and at midnight is when I turned 21.
Right.
And she was like at a club partying, and we're like, okay, and so we're like in my living room,
Getting turned.
A lot of people do. I don't know if a lot of people do it, but I've heard like 21 shots on your 21st birthday is like a.
Oh,
I've
that
heard
sounds
that.
Something
I
people
would
actually
die
try to
if I
do.
done that. That's dangerous.
You would die. I would die.
I'm too small of a person to
Yeah.
ingest 21 shots.
Well,
I could probably do it, but I would probably really regret it.
Oh, yeah.
I think
anyone would
I
regret
think
it.
the reason
Yeah.
I took it so easy on my 21st was because I had to drive all the way up north, and it was like a 3-hour drive, and I was like, ooh, that's gonna be bad hungover. So I think that's probably actually why I took it so easy.
But if
22,
you were to
watch out.
start at like 8 or 9, right before you go out for your birthday, you could do like a couple shots, like 2 or 3, and then I think if you spread them out over the next couple hours, you could probably do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think you'd probably black out or like
Oh,
have a severe hangover.
without a doubt.
With
Yeah.
I think if
That's
I,
a lot of alcohol, man. That's
Let's think
21
about,
ounces
like,
of
the
alcohol.
sugars and the mixes. Yeah, that's crazy.
That is not a beer. That is like straight liquor.
well,
Yeah.
that's like those freaking like flavored puckers that they put. Like they're like 15% alcohol, but they taste like a Jolly Rancher. And you
Yeah, I
can
know
just
what you're saying.
Like sour apple puckers.
yeah,
Nachos,
sour
bad
apple,
guys back.
watermelon.
Ooh.
Like you can, they're like Jolly Ranchers, and you're like, oh my god, and then you have a bunch of them, and you're like
You're on the floor
like
before
you're
you
done,
know it.
like you're knocked out.
and you're like, oh my
You're
god.
like, what? But then it's like it's so funny how like your brain remembers that because like the watermelon puckers, if I smell them, I'm like, oh, like I can't even look at them. I'm just like, oh, bad memories.
That's how I react on like anything that has vodka in it.
Oh.
That's how I am actually with like Jack
Yeah.
Daniels. Like I know there was a little bit of Jack Daniels in that shot. Thankfully, only like a little. Or no, that was Fireball that was in the shot, wasn't it?
No, it was Jack
Oh, was it Fire Jack?
Tennessee Fire or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
the red one. Yeah.
I've never heard of that before. I've only heard of Fireball as far as cinnamon whiskey goes. But yeah, that was it was Jack something
Something.
Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah, stuff's. It's rough just by itself.
Yeah. I'm getting a headache just thinking about it.
But like now, like since graduating from college, I've mellowed out. Like if I mean,
Oh,
depending on what I want to do, I either
100%.
sip on rum all night, like Captain and Coke or something, or like rum and pineapple juice has been my favorite. It's kind of like fruity, tropical. Or I'll do like just shots of tequila. It's really not like anything in
That's
Dude,
mellow. That's
honestly-
very mellow.
Right,
Very
It's
something
like
in
the
between.
standard though, man. Like if you want to have a good time and like have it be cheap, you just go to get a few like 3 tequila shots and like 3 beers and I'm fucking
Right.
A-okay.
So after like the first tequila shot, I probably could do them, and they would go back pretty smoothly without a chaser.
Yeah.
The first one's a little rough, but I think that's like any alcohol.
That's why you
But
have the lime
vodka,
there.
I can never do just vodka, no matter what point I'm at,
Well,
what
it
level
tastes
I'm
like
at.
ink
I can
toner
never do it
if
without
it's
a
straight.
without a
Yeah,
chaser.
not
it
good.
depends on which one you get. Either it's like straight up rubbing alcohol or
Yeah, or like we're in college, so people buy
less.
like Burnett's,
Bernastis.
flavored. Yeah,
Svedka.
What can you do, yo? What can you do? Yes, Svedka.
Svedka is the
Mohawk.
Dude, oh my lord. I went through a patch in my life where literally everyone around me was drinking Mohawk, and I thought they were the most disgusting motherfuckers. Because,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, you got a $5 handle or whatever, and I'm just gonna buy the $15 one because I don't feel like dying in the morning. It's just so gross when you use.
Did you guys ever have like the UV blue like?
I remember that.
Those are
'Cause
deadly.
I've heard so many people have like such bad experiences. Luckily, I've never even run into it. Like I've never had it, but there's so many people some of my friends, they're just like, oh, like I can't. Like just the thought of it like makes me sick. Like I've had one bad night with it and I'm done. I'm just like.
It's so easy to knock back, and that's when I experienced my very first heartburn. At the age of 21,
If you get heartburn when you're drinking, that means you're gonna have a rough morning.
It was a rough
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Did you twist your ankle that night too?
I did not. That's a story for another episode, guys. So tune in. There's like a few episodes.
Yeah.
There'll be some decent content.
Yeah.
Not that exciting. I'm hyping it up. Just watch.
We're just surprised he has like decent ankles at this point.
He built it up.
Yeah. Just kind of calluses on his bones and stuff.
He's got dad ankle.
All right. Well, with that said, we want to move into our next segment. Just kind of get to know him a little bit better. It's a game called $1 Million But from Rooster Teeth. If you hadn't heard of it, so essentially the concept of the game is you're posed a question where you're offered $1 million, but there's a scenario or like a clause that comes with it, and depending on what that is, we want to know whether or not you'd be willing to take the money. Exciting. So Taylor, you'll be up first.
Oh no.
All right. So the first question
Oh,
is.
you're asking me? Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. So $1 million, but every time you get wet, there's a 10% chance the water in your next shower will be diarrhea instead.
Oh my god.
Wait, so hold on. Wait, I gotta break this down a little bit.
There's nothing to break
Like
down.
the
It's
water
gross.
coming out of the shower head is diarrhea, or you have diarrhea in the shower.
That's a great question.
Oh, that is good.
That's a good question.
Oh, like what if there's like one of those water
'Cause
filtration systems where it just like
Exactly.
recycles
Oh
it?
god.
Yeah. So
Well-
my question is then like
Because if it's
I need to know this for her answer because like this I feel like this is important. Do you
Yeah.
have diarrhea or do you get covered
Because
in
if you
diarrhea?
have diarrhea, you're just gonna get clean. You're in the shower.
Yeah.
That's true.
But if it's coming out like, oh no.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. There was a time when I was like a very young kid, like
Uh-oh, I don't
less
like where this
I
is
don't like
going.
this
younger
where
than
this is going.
5. I was in the and there was a shower, but it was like like a double wide shower, like almost like the width of a tub, but it was just a shower.
Okay, rich boy.
No, it was just like a sliding one. It was in a trailer. So it wasn't like that.
The immediate downgrade.
Right. Like, I don't remember what I was doing. You know, like kids like, dick around in the shower. Not really doing much. You're there for like 30 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Or it feels like 30 minutes and your mom comes in after 5, like, what the hell are you doing?
You respond with dicking around.
Yeah, I'm dicking around. 3 years old.
You're interrupting me time.
I know. I'll get to it real quick. But there was a time where I was like, I was squatting in the shower and I must have had a poop and I slid backwards and there's just like a brown stream.
Oh no.
But not like I had gone to the bathroom and just not wiped. Like it was like
Wow.
a dull crayon. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to clean this up real quick.
Jeez, oh Pete. You know what? You definitely interrupted Taylor time.
Yeah.
Let's
No, I meant
It's a
like,
good story though.
well, no, I meant
that was
like
traumatizing.
I meant like me time is like in the shower. Like it's like my time. Like not like you're dulling my light here. No, like it's seriously like I pride my showers. Like I love I'm like the shower that's like burning your skin off.
That's
like
just
hot
typical.
showers.
Well, if it's that hot, maybe it'll like kill the bacteria.
You're not gonna get clean.
You're right.
That's
There's
the thing.
a 10% chance, not 10% of the water.
What if I just never take a shower and I always take baths? Loophole.
But then you'd be like,
Then
No,
you're sitting
but
in
it
the
said
shit.
only in the shower.
oh yeah, your next
It
shower.
says in your next shower. It didn't say bath.
But
Whoa.
that's a loophole. You have to follow the
I'm
letter
all
of the
about
card.
the loopholes.
Yeah, well,
If it doesn't happen in the bath, even though I hate baths because I'm the person that showers before I take a bath because then you're just sitting in your own filth.
Yeah, stagnant water.
bath bombs.
That doesn't do anything.
I'll
You're
usually
still
take a bath
sitting
and then
in
I'll
your nasty.
shower.
I mean,
You're
Yeah.
wearing the nasty on your skin already.
if I can take baths, because I would
forgot
never.
what the question was, to be honest.
I mean,
Something about diarrhea. in
Right.
showers.
it's like if every
Yes.
time you shower, or is it just your next one?
Just your next one.
Oh, so just one and done.
Yeah, but there's a 10% chance. 1 in 10.
A 10% chance it will happen.
Right.
Oh.
Would you risk it for $1 million?
Well, okay. Okay, so yeah, I would, because if it does happen, then it's just my next shower, so then I can just shower again to get it off and I'll get my $1 million.
Taylor, you don't have to justify anything because you
justifying
have $1
everything.
million.
Yeah.
So what if you
You
smoke
can
money?
wipe the diarrhea away
Right.
with 20,000 of it.
That's true.
And
That's
still
very
have
true.
a whole bunch left.
Just like build a whole new bathroom.
So, yeah.
Build over it. Yeah, you take the money?
Mhm.
All right.
Take the money.
All right.
Money and run.
So $1 million, but whenever you touch another human, flying monkeys appear and beat the shit out of you.
I hate that I always have follow-up questions. How aggressive?
Enough to beat the shit out of you.
Why is there fecal matter involved in your questions? What is going on here?
Like physical food. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm like the biggest wimp ever, so I'll probably have to pass on that one because like I literally just like stub my toe and I'm crying.
That's like some Jumanji level shit, man.
I've never seen a movie.
That'd be really traumatizing. I wonder if you go to like a zoo and then.
Oh my god, that means like you could never be intimate with anybody ever
Yeah.
again. Or if you just like bump into someone, all of a sudden you're just getting like
Yeah,
whenever you
attacked.
touch
just hit me, and
another
now a
human.
whole gang of silverbacks
God.
are gonna beat the shit out of
Right.
you.
Yeah,
So like,
no,
what
I
if someone like
wouldn't.
figured it out and like would purposely like walk by and like tap your shoulder?
It'd be you. You just be like, oops, sorry.
It's like, you pissed
Yeah,
me off
no.
today.
No, because I constantly be that person that walks too close to people and accidentally step on the back of their shoe. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like that's
Well,
just me.
what
It would
a
happen
better
all
way
the
to
time.
learn your
Yeah,
lesson
I'm
than
such a
here.
touchy person. Like I love touch. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's
So you pass on that one.
I have a
Pass.
hard pass.
All right. The next is $1 million, but every time you curse, the next time you speak to someone, you have to call them a cunt without explanation.
I love that word, so yes.
Yeah, what the heck? Yeah, you
Give
said
me
we
a
can't talk
million.
about that.
I
word.
mean,
Give me a million right
I'm
now.
fine with saying it, but just,
Oh,
as
he
a-
is fun.
You can say that you
I-
like. I'm just if you're worried about your reputation.
Yeah, that's
I don't understand why people don't like that word. Like I think it's a beautiful word.
You think it's beautiful?
I think it's a beautiful
Doesn't sound
word.
harsh at all. Just
Like
the word.
it's got some oomph behind
Yeah.
it, but like cuz like the F word fuck is like so everyone says it so much all the time. I forgot we could cuss on here.
Which word?
Fuck.
Come on, so say the C word in that kind of graceful manner. Then see if you can do that.
Cunt.
That still sounds harsh.
But
just so like
But I feel like fuck is so overused that that one has more of an oomph. That you can be like, this person's such a like, and
Yeah.
it just
It
like
really-
has more than just like.
it depends on how you use it too. Because if you can like cleanly deliver the F word, a fuck, like it's just great.
Well,
Someone's like fuck you, it's just like
Fuck you, you fucking
well,
fuck.
no, but
Yeah.
like people use it as emphasis. Like fuck, that really hurt.
Yeah,
like,
right.
like oh my god, stubbed my toe, it fell off.
Or like
Oh.
if you're ranting about something and you can't think of the words, you're like fucking, you know.
Yeah, like it's like
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that word. I think it's underappreciated and underused.
Yeah.
So you'll take it.
I'll take it.
Take
Alright.
the money.
She
Yes,
takes the money.
take the money.
Well worth it. Who cares about reputation? You can win your friends back with your $1 million.
Exactly.
Right. And then you just know that it's a term of endearment.
Mhm.
Sup cunt.
Yeah, you're gonna be a fucking
Exactly.
cunt about it.
Yeah. And the last one for Taylor is
Okay.
$1 million, but anytime someone sneezes nearby, you must roam the streets doling out vigilante justice.
That's a good conversation starter.
I don't. I'm sorry. What?
So whenever someone sneezes
Yeah.
nearby, you have to roam the streets doling out vigilante justice. So you'd be like a superhero at night, going against the law, taking law in your own hands.
But allergy season is coming,
I
so
know,
everyone's
that's a
gonna be.
great point.
Dude, is it just like people around me, or is it all over the world? Because then I'm gonna be
Just
tired
keep,
all
whenever
the time.
someone nearby sneezes, nearby you.
So, like, if I sneezed right now, you'd
So,
have to go put
like-
your Batman mask on.
So like I'm kind of in a. I didn't like where I was going with this, but I was gonna say like Dexter, like how he took it
Kills
into his
people.
like but he only kills like serial killer. He's a serial killer that kills serial killers.
The end justifies the means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. Depends how much do you value your time, right? So you're just you're going to class,
Yeah.
and someone just yells, or not yells, they sneeze, and now you have to take time out of your day to
You're like, oh,
save the world.
bless you. Gotta go.
Bless you, motherfucker.
Right?
I
Would
mean-
you be able to like null and void it if there's no like crime breaking going on around you?
It's not up for me to decide. It's what Taylor decide.
Like, so is it just like if the crime's nearby? Cause like we're in Flint, so it's like everywhere. So I'd be
we get
busy all
email,
the
like
time.
once a day.
I don't like being that busy. I'm not a violent person, so I'm gonna say no.
No. Okay.
I don't think I could do like any harm to people.
But
Yeah, I mean, you probably break your
chance for
hand, and you just said you could stub your toe,
violent.
and you wouldn't be about it.
Like, you could think of this as being your stress ball.
Well, then you get dirty, and you gotta go home and shower.
Yeah.
With a 10% chance of
Yeah,
getting
so your
diarrhea.
shower
Okay,
with
they're
this
not all putting it together. It's one at a time.
That'd be pretty intense.
That's
What
a
if, like,
lot. That's a lot
like
of
punch
pressure
in
on
the
me.
gut? Yeah, like come home after having like a day like that.
Yeah. What if they're
People's
falsely
ass.
accused? Well, if it wasn't actually like them.
Well, wouldn't that be up to you as the vigilante to decide?
Well, if I
Yeah,
decide
you can decide your own values.
Yeah.
I have such anxiety. I'd be like, oh my god, I bet it wasn't even like, I think I got the wrong person. Like, it was two guys with a mustache. Like, I don't know. Like, I would be overdwelling it. It's
I
just
think
too
millennials
much.
would make awful superheroes or vigilantes. Now that she brings that up,
Yeah.
is that we overanalyze
So
everything. We question.
indecisive
We're so
and-
insecure about ourselves.
Mhm.
That's a good point.
I don't know. I'd love to kneecap someone. Like,
Well, that could be your question.
Yeah, I guess
Also,
so.
like everyone being like hyper aware of everything,
Yeah.
would you be less likely to engage as a vigilante because you don't want to like
There's so much gray area.
profile someone or
That's true. I'm sorry.
just like Betty Sue coming out of the door, just, looking like she's like slept on the streets for the last few weeks, and really
Oh my God.
she just had a rough morning. She looks, assume it's her. She gets an ass whipping. Because,
It's just like the one day the person like didn't put makeup on them.
Right.
Yeah. Film was a good getaway too. Like if you wear a lot of makeup and then you don't,
Yeah.
because there are some people who are like very not like their normal selves. You know what I mean?
Right.
Why are you looking at me?
I don't mean
Stop looking at
to.
me.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, that was good. That was a good way to end your round of questions. So how many millions of dollars did she earn from
I
this?
think-
I think only 2.
Yeah, 2 million.
Hey,
Two
$2 million is $2 billion fucking dollars.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah,
take
but
it.
also like with me,
I ain't
it's
gay,
gone.
but
in
2
like a
million is 2
day.
million. That's why I am gay.
But you got a lot of stuff.
All right, Micah.
Mm.
$1 million, but whenever you commit one of the 7 deadly sins,
Oh no.
everyone on Earth gets superpowers except you.
That's a bummer.
You know,
Huge
but
bummer.
I'm, if I commit one of the 7 deadly sins, I'm probably having a good time. And if everyone else gets superpowers, that means there's some semblance of equality in the world. So fuck it. I'll
Get
take-
rid of your
Except
political
you.
answer.
Yeah, you're just always at the bottom.
Yeah, no, that's cool because I'm having fun somewhere because I'm committing a sin. So usually sins are pretty fun. So if it's worth it.
Lying is a sin, right? Is lying fun?
So, but isn't that
It
one of the
depends
7
on
deadly?
what you're lying to. I don't like to
It's
lie.
so funny. I was just listening to a
I don't
freaking
think lying is a
podcast
sin
this
'cause
morning
it's like
that was
gluttony,
naming all 7
greed,
of them.
lust.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Pride,
Tyler Oakley,
wrath.
Very cool.
Oh my gosh.
Man, what's the other 2
I
7
knew the
deadly
gluttony,
sins?
lust.
Gluttony,
Pride.
lust, don't
Pride.
kill nobody,
Pride.
adultery.
No, that's the
No.
10 Commandments.
Gluttony, lust, greed, wrath,
Pride.
I'm trying to think back to like
I've watched so
Fullmetal
many.
Alchemist.
Yeah, no, seriously, dude, me too.
So
I was
many
like, I've
anime
seen
shows
so
have
many animes with these themes in them, but I don't know. There's 2 more that I can't.
I'm the worst Christian
Sloth.
ever.
Right. This
Yeah,
is a very
sloth.
secular web show, Dan. This is
So 6 out of 7. I don't know, but there's one missing. But yeah, a short answer is yes. I would totally be okay with that, and I will take $1 million.
That's just all about the
Because
money.
superpowers are superpowers.
yeah.
Superpowers are cool.
Everyone just stay in their own lane and everyone wins.
Yeah.
Everyone's like flying above you, and you're just like, "Hey guys."
Yeah.
I just had sex.
That's kind of immediately where my mind went. I mean, if that's the cost of me having sex, everyone gets superpowers. Well, then
You
fuck
know
it.
what? So if everyone starts to figure that out, like we're all flying in the air, we're thinking like, "Wow, Micah just got laid. Like, good for him." You don't
I wonder
ever-
what I'm gonna get.
Say like
You should be cheering for me.
Have like a badge, like
Right.
each power you get. Gotta catch them all.
Oh God! All right, hit me with the next one.
All right. $1 million, but whenever you hear the news, everyone treats you like you're an infant.
Oh my god.
Oh, baby.
Oh, the baby.
I
Just
don't
had
think
his
I could
first
handle
poo-poo.
that. Honestly,
You don't like baby talk?
No, it really bothers me. Like
Oh,
I
that
hate.
means you would get cuddled because everyone cuddles babies.
Not adult babies. Everyone looks
That
down
when
on
someone
adult.
dangles keys like above your face.
I think babies are so ugly.
Well,
Generally speaking, I think like 10% of babies are attractive. Not
my
attractive,
nephews
but like
when
cute
they
to
were
look at.
Are you
babies were
talking about when-
adorable. So like I can't like. agree with that point.
Are you talking about when they first come out? Because then, they're all squished in
For like the first 2 months.
That's
They're
true.
deflated.
I'd say like the first week.
Yeah.
When they're squished. And once they fill out, and they're like, oh, you cute.
Yeah. I think, they might
Once
be,
they start to smile.
it's
you're
not
like,
for
oh my
very
God.
long that babies are ugly.
Yeah, no.
And they're not all newborns, like newborns are ugly, but most of
It
them
really does depend on how they come out, what they're looking like. But I think, no, I couldn't be talked to like a baby. I would hate that.
I hate baby corn.
Yeah. Baby corn?
What?
Yeah, it just looks wrong.
It does look wrong. Like, how did we get a mini corn cob?
Yeah.
That's not what we want.
Do you guys see Deadpool?
I love
Mm-hmm.
Deadpool.
He's
Ryan
like
Reynolds
a
is my
little baby
Hollywood husband.
It's gonna feel huge in my little hands.
So would you take the money? No, you wouldn't.
No, I would not. I could not. I don't think I could stand that.
Next question. So $1 million, but whenever you get a zit, you're suddenly injected with a shitload of adrenaline.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Honestly, yes. That would be cool.
You'd be so much more efficient.
Adrenaline.
I'm not saying you break out.
Oh,
but
no,
if
dude.
you
Like,
did-
if I broke out, that would be the happiest breakout I think I'd ever have.
Adrenaline is such a powerful drug. Like, I've broken a bone before and not even felt it because I had so much adrenaline pumping.
That's wild.
Well, it was my thumb, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Like,
Still.
it wasn't my leg. That would probably be less. But, like, my adrenaline was pumping so much, like, I didn't even realize I broke it until I was like, ooh, that doesn't look right.
I should probably get this treated.
Yeah, you're like, ooh.
Yeah, no, I think I'm all about the zip power.
You're, like,
I-
purposely, like, rubbing grease on your face.
Right,
Ow.
bacon grease.
Teenagers like on speed, just working out. Everyone's just like
Fucking zip, man. Let's pop it.
everyone's
No
tweaking
way.
out in class. So you would take it?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Last question. For $1 million,
Mm-hmm.
but every time your phone battery dies, you become the #1 suspect in a murder case.
How often do you let your battery die?
Very rarely.
Take the money.
I think
I
I
don't
would
ever.
because I've got a car charger, I've got a battery pack, and I've got multiple other
You're
chargers.
loaded.
Yeah, no,
You're
my
good.
power was out last night, and I only had 20% on my phone. I'm like,
Why'd
oh
your
my
power
god,
go out?
I don't know. It was so random. I got home at like 1 a.m. from work, and then I'm like trying to flick the lights on, and I like stumble through the dark. I'm like, well, this fucking sucks. And then I realized I hadn't charged my phone on the way home because I was listening to Joe Rogan. And then
There you go.
fucking I get there,
So
and I'm like,
many
oh
names.
no, I've got
So many.
only 20%. So was able to plug it in. So yeah, I would totally take the money because my phone like literally never dies.
So James,
Boost.
see if you can get $4 million here potentially. $1 million, but every time you hear someone say "I love you," your upper lip smells like hot trash.
Oh, God. Like your actual lip or
Right.
like the stash part?
Yeah, just to smell like, so if I were to kiss someone, because I get so much tail. So like, do they smell it too? Or if I kissed you, would you smell it?
I think I probably would smell it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hot trash, man.
It's hot trash.
you
I'll take it.
ever
I'll take
smelled
it.
like hot trash
You'll
before?
I'll take it.
Dude, just put some Vicks on that, dude.
Put some
You
But
want
Vicks
it's
on
to-
under your nose. Like, that's so sensitive.
I remember when I was in like middle school,
Oh.
I had my trainers and I actually threw them away, and I told the lunch ladies, I was like, hey, like I lost my trainers, I accidentally threw them away, and she goes, well, you took out the trash. She goes, you can go out there and you can rip the bags apart and
No
look for it if you
kidding.
want, and I did. But I mean, it was the most god awful smell. It was just like kind of sweet and sour, but like garbage. It was
Yeah.
just
It was
truly
garbage,
hot
bro.
trash. Yeah.
I mean, I've smelled some smells, but like for it to be constantly like under your nose is like the
Yeah.
thing. It's
Maybe
the
just
trigger
like
for me.
just like enough for you to notice, like 3 seconds, and then you'd go away.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
Ooh,
for
what
a
if
few
you're like in the middle
seconds.
of dinner and you're like it's about spoonful?
I'll take
I
it.
love you,
I'll
honey.
take it.
Alright, so you take the money.
I'll take the money.
Take your money and run. $1 million, but every time you see a stop sign, a bird comes out of your mouth.
Ew, like a big bird or a baby bird?
Yeah.
Big bird or baby bird?
You could monetize
Like the
this.
actual
You, like,
big bird,
you
like
vomit
the
up
giant
a live
yellow.
bird and it like flies away.
How do I monetize a live bird? Just
You're a
resell it?
magician,
No.
dude.
Oh,
Dude,
but I have to see a stop sign. So like my
Someone at the
my
corner
You
Or
have
something
a
like
dash,
that.
dude. Get a dash cam. Be a traveling magician. Every time you stop, be like, and now for my fun.
I think he needs to be, if he is gonna like vomit up a bird or like get out of it, it has to be like a cat like convulsing, like
Oh,
just flies out.
God.
I'm in. Yeah, I'll take it.
He's like, give me all the money, please.
$1 million, but every time you get angry, You must fight a tween.
A tween.
A tween. Ooh, they're feisty.
You're just lucky it wasn't
What's
a
a
twink or a
tween?
twunk.
It's a preteen,
Preteen.
right?
Yeah.
They're like,
So, like-
12, 11, 10.
It's like 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, anything.
Same.
Yeah,
It's a preteen.
Yeah. Oh,
They're pre-teenage.
Dude, wreck their shit.
I think I could do it. I could totally drop kick some 10-year-olds. I know.
Right.
They're so awkward.
You could probably post bail with your $1 million.
Yeah. Unless my bail is $1 million, then I'm just like SOL.
Isn't
Well, then I
bail
guess it
just like
depends.
it's like a percentage of it. So like when they say like, oh, they have a $2 million bail, they only pay like
Well,
200,000.
then you're out on bond.
I don't know how jail works.
Yeah, I've never been arrested either.
Neither have I.
I don't know.
But
I thought
I've
I
seen
knew
people get
it.
arrested.
I thought I understood.
I have ridden in the back of a cop car, but I was not arrested.
Ooh, exciting stuff. Kinky.
I wish. Although I have slept with like 4 state police officers.
He has
Surprisingly, there's a lot of gay like state police.
Were they also part-time FBI full-body inspectors?
I've been pulled over by one.
Evidently so.
Yeah, I guess
I've got the right to remain silent.
He's like, I plead the fifth.
Right.
I'm sorry, you ready for the next one, or are we gonna talk about this? I don't mind either way. All right, $1 million, but
Excuse me. ...
every time you order a meal,
Oh God.
This is pretty often.
you get pregnant.
Oh, so many babies.
Like a food baby or like an actual baby?
Let's go with actual baby.
Yeah. Oh, that's so much responsibility. Every time you order.
No, like I don't
Meal?
think
Yeah.
I could do it because if I'm gonna be a woman who has to like do womanly activities like get pregnant, give birth, I want to be like fierce, like head to toe. I want the body, the boobs, curves, all of it. I don't want my man body.
You want
I don't want my dad. Yeah, I don't want my dad bod
bod.
getting
Mom
pregnant. No, I want like.
He wants a MILF bod.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I'll
I'm
take
getting
that.
up there too. So,
I want you to have a MILF bod too.
so on that one, I think I would pass.
God
I
bless.
would pass. I don't think I
Pass.
can.
So you earn $1 million. Taylor comes in third with $2 million. Micah comes in second with $3 million, and I
You took it all.
take home all the cash.
So
Crush it.
greedy.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. He's the richest man at the table right
I
now.
know. Hey, can
Oh
I
yeah,
have a
I have
loan?
$4 million.
Can I have a small loan of $1 million?
You have to look
Investor.
like an angry orange and Cheeto at the same time.
Find some penny stocks, just like
Right.
dump them all in. All right, here's that $1 million.
I have one.
So that brings us to our next segment. We're going to talk about something that everyone looks stupid doing. Do you guys have anything that you can think of?
I have two.
Yeah, I'm gonna spectate.
My first one is I think everybody looks dumb yawning. There's no good way to yawn. Like your mouth always is like
You know what?
like
You're right.
it looks
Yawns
so
are ugly.
odd yawning. Like even if you like cover, you're still like you can see it in like the upper part of your
Yeah.
face. And also,
I'm really fighting the urge to yawn right now.
I know, right?
Did they say like that triggers you to yawn because when you yawn, it's like it signals like a lack of oxygen, so then
Mhm.
everyone kind of does it like biologically and everything.
I don't know, I gotta yawn. But, I'm not going to. But then my other one is just because I'm so annoyed by kids doing it, is the frickin' all the Fortnite dances irritate the living shit. Like flossing, I think everyone looks stupid doing. Like
I
there's
still
no
can't do it.
there's
Yeah.
nobody
I
that
can't do
looks
it either.
good flossing. Like there's no like it immediately makes you look like a 40-year-old white dad. Like it just like never looks
Grilling
good.
with dogs.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think. None of us are 40.
Like anytime
Well,
I
not
go
yet,
to like a
anyways.
sports event, they have like the camera that goes around. It's always kids just doing those
That's true.
dances, and I'm like,
I mean, really, like that's what you want to
why?
do right now.
It's just like
Weird
the
flex,
whole
but
like
okay.
dabbing thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Well, I mean, didn't we do dumb shit when we were kids too? Like we
Oh,
had
never.
silly bands and like
Silly
all
bands,
that
silly
shit.
Oh my
silly
god! I
bands.
remember
Those are
they
the
had like
plastic
arms
bands that had like.
that like you took them off and they looked
they
like an
had, like, a
animal.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
ripped off all your arm
And you
hair.
had 'em,
I
like,
forgot
this
about
big.
those.
Yeah, see,
No,
we
I've never
had
heard
dumb
of
shit when we were
Give you
kids
like
too.
the shape of like a dinosaur or something when it's not on your wrist, and you would put it on. It would just be
Yeah,
basically a rubber band.
And
Like a-
kids would be like,
I
That seems
remember
very
because
constricting.
if a kid wasn't able to afford them, he would just. There was this one kid that would literally just put a brown rubber band like it's a potato, like literally. I was like, I applaud you.
at least everyone can floss. There's no, like, you don't have to purchase the floss, which I guess is good. But
you
still,
don't
it's
look
weird.
good doing it.
No, you're right. You don't. You don't.
So flossing and then
Yawning.
Yawning while flossing.
Ooh.
That'd be a challenge.
That would be a challenge. Oh, shoot.
Can't even.
Probably gonna cut that part out.
I'd have to say though, like one of the dumbest things people look like doing is changing a tire on the side of the road. Like if they don't know what they're doing and they're just kind of like kicking the tire, or they're walking around their car.
And they're just staring at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which nowadays
You're on
is
the
very,
phone.
sadly, unfortunately, very common.
Well,
Which we don't
I'll
touch.
cop to this. Like I could change a tire if I really put my mind to it, but like thankfully I've got a roadside service, so like I just call them up and they do
Yeah,
it
I don't
for
think
me.
if I didn't know how to do it, I wouldn't even attempt it. I would just sit in my car.
I'd call someone.
Call my stepdad, my rescue.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what I did. Like it was like late at night, but I'm sure if I took like an hour, I could have figured it out. But fuck that, I didn't want to. I was like,
Simple, but
that's
like-
why I go with roadside assistance.
Yeah. No, I broke a jack doing that once. I put it up, forgot to loosen the bolts, and so I was
Your car is
trying to crank it, and I
swiveling
completely
back and
just
forth.
like broke the jack and
You're right.
bent it in half.
Hmm.
Luckily, the tire was still on it, so I didn't have to worry about not having a tire on one of the four wheels. But
But you're right, roadside assistance.
It's
What you
the-
pay for, you pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, but I'd rather do that than have to struggle in like, especially during winter, like it was cold outside. Like I didn't want to fucking
God.
put a
And you
tire
know
on
what?
in the
Like
cold.
nowadays, like if you're on the side of the road, no one's gonna stop to help you. At least I won't, because I think you're a serial killer.
That's true.
But like back in the day, like people used to hitchhike and they'd like stop and help you, and now it's like
Well, I gotta say though,
Killer.
like I was really blessed. A couple months ago, like my battery died because my alternator was bad, and I like was on an exit ramp. I think it was the 69 to 23 exit ramp going south. So you've got that big curve, and and my car died right on the curve, and like I was like, well, this is a terrible place for my car to die. Like I could get hit so easily, and thankfully a guy stopped and jumped me. Like
he jumped you.
yeah, he did
Ooh,
jump
he
me
jumped
in
you.
all the right ways. So like
Jump man,
I was
jump man,
very
jump
lucky,
man.
but I think
No.
you're right though, Taylor, because like I don't want to stop for people on the side of the road because I don't know what the fuck they're up to, if it's like a
Yeah.
ploy or not. But like I don't
Could
want to
be.
get stabbed,
Mhm.
you know.
Well, I remember like when I was just starting to drive, my parents always warned me like of stuff that they used to do as pranks when they were kids, but now you see people with their sick minds doing weird shit. But I remember my dad told me like, if for whatever reason, if I was driving down like a country road and like an egg hit my windshield, don't stop,
Don't swerve.
don't use your windshield wipers to clean it off right away because it'll
Right.
smear. You won't be able to see.
Mhm.
And don't stop right away. Go down a couple miles and then do it because I don't know if it happens or it's just paranoia or what, but you don't want to like get out and someone run up behind you or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And growing up in like Byron or like rural Michigan, I wouldn't be surprised.
I
Some
forgot
weird
that
shit
we
like
grew up
happen.
in like the same area.
Yeah,
It's weird, man.
Yeah.
It's weird.
small world for sure.
Very small.
That's scary.
I would say, I think something that everyone looks dumb doing is hula hooping.
Oh come on! It's like
But
Hawaiian
if
dance.
you look at it though and you
Like a
remove
belly
the hula
dancer.
hoop, everyone's just like,
Just
Well,
gyrating.
It's like
I
and it's
think
not like a swivel. Like
Especially
when
when
people
it's
are
like
really good at it, they're like
aggressive
back and
one.
forth, back and forth, back and forth. But it's just like,
well,
and everyone just has like a weird expression on their face, like so just like focusing on the fact they're
That's
hula
true.
hooping.
I think it depends. I think it's like whether or not like people at electricity or like electric forest or stuff like that. Because like the rave people like are really good at that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And I've like seen some YouTube videos. I'm like, oh my god, they're doing that with a hula hoop. So I think it depends. Like if it's just like some random person picking up a hula hoop, I know I look like a goddamn idiot.
I feel like a lot of people look like the episode from SpongeBob when they were learning how to blow a bubble, and he's like, "Yeah, bring it around,
Yeah, bring it around,
Tom."
bring it around,
And, like,
Tom.
do it really big
You do
because you're like trying to
this
get
and
it going. He's just like, and then when it's about to fall, like everyone else thinks it's like super aggressive. Like, don't fall. I agree.
Come on.
Where do you
Do you
stand,
have-
Jimmy?
Jeez, I was trying to think. I'm a very non-judgmental person.
Oh,
All right, let's
stop it.
establish that there. Actually, now that I think about it, like, do you guys remember in college or even high school taking exams? If you actually take the time to observe someone taking an exam, you look really stupid
Yes.
because you're in your most vulnerable state. You don't care how you look; you just want to get it done. So people are like doing these, they're like doing weird faces.
Yes.
People are picking their nose, thinking that nobody else is watching them. You know what I mean? I think people look dumb taking exams or tests.
Yeah,
Which is like so ironic because you're like trying to prove how smart you are
Exactly.
in the exam.
My best friend, like, she gets so stressed during our exams, and I literally, out of the corner of my eye, I'll just go, and like throw her arm up in the air as if like nobody else can see her, or she'll literally just like kick back in her chair and just stare at the computer for like a
Right.
good 5 minutes. I'm like, you okay? Like, what's going on there? Or she'll just be like holding her
Right,
face.
one of those numbers
like,
make the weirdest faces because
Yeah.
you don't think anyone else because everyone else
Yeah, no one's
I think I've
looking
done
at
this where I was just like
Right.
Well, I used to run my hand through my hair a lot, and I had really long hair at one point, and like I would just pull out hair because like I was literally pulling out my hair.
That in like 7th grade. I don't know if I was nervous or anxious or what, but I remember like pulling out like hair from the,
I would
from
the back of your scalp. Yeah. I would do that too. I'd wrap it around and doink it, and I was like, well, here we are.
My brother used to like twist, twist his hair.
Oh yeah,
like oh my god, like just be sitting there twisting. I'm like, dude, simmer down.
I'll do that with my beard occasionally. I'll just be like, doink.
I used to have super long hair. I would take the front of my hair and like put it in my mouth.
Yeah,
I'm sure females do that too. I'll chew on my hair.
I mean, I like play with my hair a lot, but usually during exams, I'm more so just like I do like one of these where it's like I'll get like a headache and I'll just like hit like the. This like helps make me think. And I'm like, or I'll do like one of these where I like press up on my nose, like that's gonna help me at all. But it's just like me trying to focus.
If you really looked in the exam and just like after the first question, you're like, fuck, like this is not gonna go well.
No, my favorite.
So check out. Just engage in the very first
We had
question.
one class. It was like your most important class to get into this program. And she would always be like, oh, I put a couple, like, low-hanging fruit at the beginning. So if, like, one of the first questions, like, I don't know.
Ass,
and you're like, okay, great. They're like, oh, this is super easy. And you're just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, that was when you knew you're like, oh, shoot. Yeah. Like, I'm screwed.
Yeah. Speaking of language, what is the strangest thing you've ever said to a stranger?
We love a segue.
I know, right? So smooth it is.
I don't know. I say a lot of weird things because I think I'm a very awkward person when it comes to like strangers. I definitely have complimented someone. I'm like, oh my god, you have such nice hands. Like,
I'd be really, really uncomfortable with that. I have oddly small hands for some reason. So that made me
He's
feel
like,
weird.
I'm keeping these on the table.
Underneath the table.
No, it's so like my brain like always thinks like, oh my gosh, like my brain's like, oh my god, we're best friends, like, oh my god, and I'm like a touchy-feely person, so I'll touch people, and I'm like, oh, that probably wasn't good, and I'll be like, oh my god, I love, like, your neck, like, I don't know why, I just do, like, I compliment weird things.
I don't like your chin, your jaw, your collarbone, but just this portion.
I like your neck, you got a good neck.
This cylinder of meat.
Or like, my boyfriend hates it, I'll be like, oh my god, like, you smell, like, I can smell your BO, but, like, I like it. And he's like, stop. And I'm like, I don't know. It's just, like, this, it's like pheromones. Like, I like the smell. Like, I don't know.
Got that man musk.
Yeah, the man musk.
I think the body odor smells like seasoning salt. Next time you're at, like, a restaurant that's known for their gourmet burgers and spirits, smell their food seasoning and it smells like BO.
Ooh.
I mean, I suppose.
I
wouldn't mind smelling like a burger, but I mean, I guess.
Have you ever worked in fast food?
Oh, well, not fast food, but I've worked in restaurants.
Ew, and you don't mind coming home smelling like grease and
Well, there wasn't a grease trap at my work. I worked at the laundry, so it was all like from scratch gourmet food. Yeah.
Well, like, I always feel so awkward.
I saw you in there quite a bit.
Yeah, you see it.
Well, shout out. I always feel so awkward when someone's like, oh, like I don't know, they'll say something like, oh, I hope you have a great day. And instead of just being like, you too, I'll like draw it out, like, oh, I hope you have a great day too. And I like try to like fit in the whole sentence as we're like walking opposite ways. And I'm like,
the Michigan goodbye.
Yeah, like where it's like an hour long. Like, or they'll say something like, oh, how are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm doing good. How are you doing? Like,
before you know it, you're on like opposite sides of the building.
Good. I'm like, oh god, like why did I make that so long? Like I always think about that. I'm like, I'm not good at this.
Well, I mean, I think everyone does that, so they don't put a whole lot of stock in it when that kind of thing happens, because it just happens.
It's like happened more than once, where instead of be like, oh, I'm good, how about you? Like, or I'm good, you, like, in like text format, it's so short, so I think my brain thinks like in real life it should be short like that too, and it's not. So once really long, I'm like, oh god, I'm so sorry.
I can't think of like the weirdest thing or strangest thing I've told a stranger, but I was definitely like at like a spa. I mean, I guess it's not that weird given the context. Someone's like, wow, I really like your skin. And I was just like, okay, it's a little serial killer.
You want to wear it?
That's a little
Puts the lotion on its skin, Russ gets the hose.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of bizarre. I was like, thanks. And she's like, I really like it. I was like, yeah, I do too. Kiss me together.
Keeps me together. It really does.
I don't know what the weirdest thing. The only thing that comes to mind is just like Tinder conversations. Like weird shit gets said there. Like they're super strange. Like I don't know, you go online and you just pull some random like pickup lines and throw them out there, and I mean it really is just like a numbers game, but like still weird shit gets either you say it or it gets said to you, and it's like I don't know what the fuck just happened in this like chat, but this is weird, and I don't want any
full send.
Yeah, and it's either been, like, me doing a full send or me getting a full send back. And I'm like, I don't like any of this, because it's really, like, that stuff doesn't get said in normal life. Like, it's not real, and it's very strange. So I'm just like, I'm glad I'm not a part of that world anymore. So I don't even have a good example, but I just know that there's been some really cringy shit on dating apps.
No, I've had, like, on Tinder, I've had someone be like, like, you have really nice eyebrows. Or they mentioned something about my eyebrows. And I said, oh, thank you. And he's like, why did you automatically think I was going to compliment them? And I was like, okay.
Well, you really distinct eyebrows or something.
Like, I don't know. I can't remember exactly what he said. And I was just like, okay. Like, I'm
You're really
sorry.
pretty. Thank you. So you agree.
Yes, exactly. It was like that. Like, because most people comment on my eyebrows, which I used to always be so insecure about because, like, in, like, the early 2000s, like, everyone had, like, a pencil, like, line for an eyebrow, and I always had, like, big bushy eyebrows, but now they're in. And so, like, people always comment on my eyebrows. And so I guess my brain just, like, assumed. But then he, like, made me feel bad for assuming he was going to compliment, and I was like, okay, unmatched. Like, I was like, I don't know what to say to this. Or, like, especially as a girl, like, you get the weirdest things from guys. Like,
I can imagine.
Oh
I've thought about
God.
saying certain things, but I thought, you know what?
like,
No.
it's
Probably
so,
good on you then.
it's so nice when I have, like, actual, like, well, the thing is, like, I, like, on my Tinder, I had a picture of me in a white jacket, and they'd be like, ooh, you can treat me anytime, or, oh, you can do this to me anytime, and I'm like,
Nice.
God, like, it's so, like, immediately it's just, like, gross, and you're like, if you knew what I deal with on a daily basis, like, you would not be saying this.
It's amazing how, like, people can sexualize almost anything.
Yeah, it's
Literally
like, oh, if I
anything
went to
and
the
everything.
hospital, what would you do to me? And I'm like, see what's wrong with you? Like, I don't know, take your vitals.
Well, guys, I think that's probably all the time we have for today.
Yeah.
Thanks you guys for tuning in and watching. And again, thank you, Micah and Taylor, for joining us on our first ever episode of Slurp Juice. So
Yeah, Team Slurp Juice.
I know we're empty on
We're
beverages.
all empty.
Yeah, all empty.
That just means we had a good time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're working on getting a bartender, but
Ooh.
I guess cheers. Well, no, isn't it bad luck to cheers in an empty glass?
I don't know.
It
I don't
could
know
Just
be.
what
won't do it.
All right.
See you guys until next time. Join us again.